What's up, Titans fans? It's your boy CD back again with another episode of TitanUp Today. Today is Saturday, which means it's week 9 NFL Pickums. Me and the crew will bring to you all the winners and the losers for this week's schedule. Can't wait to do that. I'll also give you a quick update on the injury report after all this week's practice between the Tennessee Titans and Chicago Bears. That matchup should be a good one this Sunday. And lastly, I bring to you what you guys all been waiting for, that bold prediction for week 9. But no need to delay. Let's get down to it. All right, so before we jump into this week's pick'ems and injury report and bold prediction, what I want to do is I want to go back into time. All right, so here we go. As you can see, this is the preseason picks for our crew, AFC champs, NFC champs, and our Super Bowl winner, our predictions before kickoff of week 1. All right, so fast forward to where we're at now. We're at week 9. We're almost halfway done with the season, and it's a good time to check up to see where we're at. As you can see here, CD, myself, I have not changed where my stance is. I still have the Titans to win the AFC, the Packers to win the NFC, with the Titans taking it all home. Lund, again, staying steady. He's going with the Ravens winning the AFC, with the Aints winning the NFC and the Super Bowl. A-Town, first change, as you can see here. He's got the Tampa Bay Bucks now as the NFC champion, with the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. Before, he had the 49ers as his NFC pick, as well as the Super Bowl champion. As you can see, the 49ers looking closer to 4-9 than they do look like winning the NFC, and definitely not the Super Bowl. So here we go. Court had the Chiefs, Seahawks, and she's locking that in. It looks the same, has not moved at all. Jake, the big Chiefs fan, had the Vikings to win the NFC. Obviously, that is not even close to being correct. He's adjusted his pick to show the Seahawks winning the NFC championship and supporting the NFC in the Super Bowl, but the Chiefs still winning the Super Bowl. All right, straight into the injury report. Adam Humphries, after that hard illegal hit last week up against the Cincinnati Bengals, is still out with the concussion, did not clear concussion protocol, and did not participate in practice all week and is out for this week's matchup. Also surprising, Brett Kern with a wrist injury did not participate in practice, is also out this week. Outside linebacker Jadeveon Clowney with a knee did not participate in practice all week long and is questionable, along with cornerback Ty Smith with the shoulder injury. He also did not participate in practice and is questionable for this week's matchup. On to the Chicago Bears side of the injury report. Defensive tackle John Jenkins, center Sam Mustipher, defensive end Roy Robertson Harris, along with quarterback Mitch Trubisky, the backup quarterback. None of these guys participated in practice all week long and are out for this week's matchup. The last guy on the Bears injury report is Cole Kemet, the tight end with a groin injury, is limited in practice all week long and is questionable for the matchup in Nashville this week. Here's a quick look at the Pickum Standings. Jake Witt, 81-38, still in the lead. A-Town now comes up to second place as CD, myself, drops down. A-Town 75-44. CD tied with assists. Courtney 74-45, and Lund slowly crawling up towards the 4th place position at 67-52 with a .563 win percentage. And as much as I would love to chat and talk about our matchup, the Tennessee Titans going up against the Chicago Bears at home, key matchup between two teams just took losses 2 times, L2 for both teams. We have to wait. And that'll be the last game that we talk about. But the first game that's on the docket that we talk about today, Denver playing Atlanta. Denver comes into Atlanta currently 3-4. Atlanta 2-6, but looked like a little bit of a different team than what they did earlier in the season. The defense is playing much better over the last couple weeks. Right now, Atlanta's favored to win this game by 4 points. The over-under is 50 points. I have Atlanta to win this game in a close one, 26-24. I think that Julio Jones looks a lot healthier now and should be able to put together a good performance. And I don't know if Denver if they have the weapons to do it up against Atlanta. Again, that defense is playing a lot better, and I think they're able to close out games now. If they can get a lead, they'll be able to close out the game, but we'll see. That's a weird game because you have two teams that really aren't too good. Let's jump straight into a great game, a great matchup in the earlier segment of NFL football on this week. Seattle 6-1 going to Buffalo, East Coast, to play the Buffalo Bills, who are 6-2. Right now, Vegas says Seattle is favored to win this game by 3 points. The over-under is 55. Again, I like Seattle. I think Seattle's going to do some great things in the NFL this season. The problem is Seattle, just like New Orleans, I talk about them all the time, they don't travel well. They just always seem to have issues whenever they're on the road. I think that Seattle is a better team than Buffalo. No questions. I think on basically every way in the depth chart, up and down the stats line, I see Seattle is a better team. Russell Wilson, more than likely, is going to win the MVP. He's playing out of his mind. The problem is they're traveling all the way to the East Coast. I just don't think that they can find a way to win this game. I have Buffalo to win this game 31-27, and I think it's going to be a good game, but somehow Seattle just can't get it out of their head and that they're not at home, and they just don't put it together. I just have this vibe. Again, Seattle, better team. Look for the upset special. Buffalo wins this game. Next up, a team coming off of a loss to the undefeated Steelers, the Baltimore Ravens, who are 5-2 now, going up against the Indianapolis Colts, who are also 5-2. Our division rival. We obviously need Baltimore to win this game to help us out. Period. Dot. How's this going to work out? Right now, Vegas has Baltimore to win this game by 2 points. The over-under is 47 points. Baltimore Ravens run game has been hot. Last week, they still did well, but not well enough. Obviously, they lost this game. Watching the game, just like whenever the Steelers beat us, the Steelers don't look like this great team that is undefeated. And you got to show respect, give the love to the Steelers. They're doing it. They're winning the games. But Baltimore just turned the ball over in some really bad positions and just gave the Steelers the game. That's what it looked like to me. The Ravens were able to move the ball pretty much at will, but Lamar Jackson just turning the ball over at some really, really bad, unopportune times. I think that they sewed that up playing up against the Colts. I have Baltimore to win this game 23-14. And again, a good game, but I think it's going to be a defensive game because the Colts, again, have a really good defense. And I think they're going to put something together to try to, corral Lamar, but it'd just be too much to handle over time. Look for J.K. Dobbins to have a really, really good game as well at the running back position. Doesn't he look a lot like Ray Rice? Wearing that number 27 number, it just built short and kind of stocky. Just every time I watch him, he looks like Ray Rice of old. Anyways, moving on. Carolina Panthers on the road at 3-5, going to travel to Kansas City. The 7-1 Chiefs, who look, again, unstoppable. I thought last week that they couldn't beat the Jets by 20 points. They almost beat them by 30. It was ugly, to say the least. The Jets are a really bad team, and they should have beat them by 30 points. And they just proved to the rest of the world that the Chiefs are just that much better than the Jets. Got it. This week, again, different opponent, playing against the Carolina Panthers. Panthers are scheduled right now to lose this game. Kansas City's favored by 10.5 points. The over-under is 52.5 points. Me, along with the rest of the crew, we all have the Kansas City Chiefs to win this game. I think the Chiefs win this game, again, pretty handily. 2 scores, 34-23. Do they cover the spread? They do cover the spread as well. So a lot of points to be scored here, even though the Kansas City Chiefs defense has been playing very, very well of late. Moving on, next game, Detroit Lions playing against the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings are 2-5, and the Lions are 3-4. You get 2 NFC North teams that aren't playing too well. How's this game going to turn out? Who knows? I think that Minnesota might have accidentally won a game last week, and as they were trying to tank for Trevor. There's a lot of teams that need a quarterback. Trevor Lawrence is going to be the #1 overall pick in the draft. We already know this. I just feel like Minnesota might have slipped up last week. This week, they're favored to win by 4 points. Dalvin Cook, oh my God. Dalvin Cook looks so good running the ball. Detroit is having an issue stopping the run. Minnesota's favored to win by 4. 52.5 is the over-under for this game. I have Minnesota to win this game 34-24. I think that they just continue to play well. They have to figure out their draft pick because it's going to be a little bit higher than they want it to be. Detroit takes the L on this week. Now, the next game up, New York Giants at 1-7 travel to Washington to play the football team who are 2-5. Again, the NFC least is so bad. They're awful. That said, you have a 1-7 team and a 2-5 team, and they both still have playoff potential. So this game actually matters. Washington is favored to win this game by 2.5 points. The over-under is 42.5 points. Daniel Jones has been playing horrible. Golden Tate told the world that he wants the ball, and the Giants don't seem to be happy with the way he did that, which obviously is not the way to go about doing it. But the truth is, he might be the best wide receiver they have, and they're not even giving him an opportunity. He's a little bit older than the rest of the young crew, but the man is a beast, to be real. He's had a good career and just hasn't gotten the opportunities in New York. Do they give him the opportunities this week? I think the Washington football team has a great wide receiver themselves and scary Terry McLaurin. But I don't think Washington can do it. I have New York Giants winning this game 23-20 on the road. It should be a good game, meaning it'll be tight. I think it'll be a sloppy game, as you have two, again, NFC least teams going at it. They're going to do what the NFC East does and just make it real sloppy. But it should be down to the wire. We'll see what happens, even though the New York Giants did give the Bucs a run last week on Monday night. All right, so Houston Texans, AFC South, 1-6, go to travel to Jacksonville to play the 1-6 Jacksonville Jaguars. As much as I'm talking trash about the NFC least, the AFC South bottom side is looking really, really bad. And I would say they're not playing bad, so much bad, as they just have some bad matchups. We're playing the NFC North this season as well as the AFC North. So we have two pretty difficult divisions that we have to go up against. But they're not playing well against really anybody. Again, they're coming off of a bye. Both of these teams are well rested, got 2 weeks to prepare for each other. This should be a really good game. It's almost like the Super Bowl, right, where they get that one break where they used to have the Pro Bowl in between there. Both teams get to stop, rest, prepare an extra week to go into this game. So we'll see how that works out, which coaching staff came up with the best game plan. We will see on Sunday. Right now, Houston is favored to win by 6.5 points. The over-under is 50.5 points. I don't think any of us actually know. None of us have Jacksonville to win this game. We all have Houston to win this game. Houston wins this game 30-24. Deshaun Watson, I think he has too many offensive weapons. Even David Johnson, even though he hasn't really done much, they win this game through the air. Let's just say that. They win the game through the air and they chop up the Jacksonville Jaguars. Moving on, the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders are 4-3 and playing well. Last week, crazy weather game. They wanted to throw the ball, didn't throw the ball really well. Derek Carr didn't really throw the ball too well, but didn't really have to, as they just pounded the ball with Josh Jacobs. He played really well. That 4-3 team goes into LA this week to play the 2-5 Chargers. The Chargers cannot, similar to the Atlanta Falcons, I would like to see them play, line up each other and see who can actually finish a game, because the Chargers cannot finish a game. How do you're up to the Broncos by 20+ points and still find a way to lose that game? The young stud quarterback throwing to Keenan Allen has been a great combination. He also found Mike Williams as well. So he's got a ton of weapons, but the defense is trash. Can they stop the Raiders this week at home? I don't know. Las Vegas says that they can by 1 point. Their favorite currently, 52 points is the over-under. I say they cannot stop the Las Vegas Raiders as Chucky and the boys come into town and win this game 38-34. Expect a ton of points. As you can see here, that over-under of 52 gets covered easily covered. This should be a barn burner, shootout, fun game to watch. And I wouldn't be surprised if LA takes an early lead and loses it late. But we'll see. Next, Pittsburgh Steelers, the undefeated 7-0 Pittsburgh Steelers. They lead the NFL with that record. Again, their gameplay, I wouldn't say so much leads the NFL, especially on offense, but their defense has been phenomenal. This week, they'll play they'll play a trash team in the Dallas Cowboys. Again, Jerry Jones started last week. The old man didn't do too well, got sacked a ton. But anyways, the Dallas Cowboys are 2-6. They are, right now, they're behind. They're the underdog. Pittsburgh is favored to win this game by 14 points. Last week I said 20 points is a lot. 14 points doesn't seem like a lot at all against this Dallas Cowboys team. To be fair, I don't think that they're good at all. But who knows? They might shock the world. But the over-under is 41.5 points. I think it's that low because Dallas's offense is not going to be able to put up any numbers to compete with Pittsburgh. But that's just me. Actually, the rest of the crew thinks the same exact thing. Pittsburgh wins this game 27-10. That's a cover of that spread of 14 points, 27-10. Pittsburgh locked that one in. All right, Tua time. Miami Dolphins at 4-3 travel to Arizona to play number one, Mr. Murray, right? So the 5-2 Arizona Cardinals, Murray to D-Hop has been a huge combination this week. I know Deshaun Watson is crying at home. Sorry, Court. Y'all traded him away. Anyways, I know he's got to be hurting back in Texas, but my boy Kyler Murray knows who to throw the ball, and he's been doing just that. Tua, I told you guys last week, I'm upset I picked the wrong winner, which last week was difficult in its own right. But at the end of the day, you have Miami basically killing the Rams on defense, but Tua did nothing. He didn't even throw for 100 yards. He didn't throw for 100 yards. I told you guys that he might run for more than he threw for, and it was actually pretty close. But anyways, rambling on about the Tua time. Miami won the game. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to Tua for getting your first dub. But we'll see what happens this week. Arizona is currently favored by 4.5 points. The over-under is 48 points total between the two teams. I have Arizona to win this game pretty comfortably at 21-16. I don't think that Tua puts up the numbers. I think he might duplicate what he did last week, but the defense of the Dolphins is legit. I'll give them props for that, but Arizona wins this game. Definitely, easily wins this game, 21-16. Now, New Orleans, 5-2. The Aints come into Tampa Bay to play Tom Brady, number 12, and now they got Antonio Brown. They added to the roster as well at 6-2. Tampa Bay's favored by 4 points. The over-under is 5.5 points at this point in time. This game is another game. I've been waiting. I told you guys last week. I've just been waiting for an opportunity for the Tampa Bay Bucks to play a team that is better than the Giants that I can pick. And this is the opportunity, and I'm going to jump all over it. New Orleans wins this game 28-26. I think there's going to be a good game, but Tampa Bay, the defense keeps them in. But I just don't have faith in that Bucks team as a whole. Tom Brady's been playing well. The stat line shows just that. But you're beating up and barely beat the Giants last week. You lost to the Bears, the pretenders. But the teams that you're beating aren't really good. Let's just be fair. They're just not really good. Beat Atlanta. But anyways, the Saints, the Aints win this game easily, 28-26. I'm not say easily. They win the game, 28-26. It'll be a good game to watch. Next up, how about some Monday Night Football? New England, 2-5, playing against the New York Jets, 0-8. This game, how is it on Monday Night Football? I'm lost. I feel like they need to rotate these games out. Pick a better game to put on Monday night or on prime time, because this is not the game. Definitely not the game. But anyways, New England is favored. This team that's definitely underachieving at this point in time is favored to win against the Jets, who are 0-8. They're favored to win 7.5 points. Over-under is 42.5. As you can see here, everybody's got the Patriots to win this game, not me. I think the Jets, this is the time, right? So look, everybody knows this. Belichick up top, cerebral, a genius. I think he's seeing the big picture here, right? The big picture is Cam Newton is not the guy. He knows that. He already tried to trade away Stephon Gilmore last week, right at the trade deadline. Actually, we almost bid on that, by the way. I'm glad we didn't. But he's trying to get rid of their best defender at this point. I don't think they want to win any more games. I think they're happy with 2 wins, and if they can go 2-14 and be up towards the top, they might be able to will and deal make a trade to get up towards the number 1 pick to be able to get their quarterback to replace Tom Brady, possibly. But I don't think that they have faith in Cam Newton in the play calling just in general. But I have the Jets getting their first win here. Call me crazy, bloop, bloop, bloop. That's fine. I have the Jets getting their first win this week. Sam Darnold, figure it out. Put it together, run the ball, check the ball down or something, man. Move the ball, get first downs. Defense for the Jets does play well enough to win this game. The Jets win 20-13. Sorry, guys. Gotta throw that out there. That's my upset special for you guys. Monday night, watch that game. It'll be worth it now. All right. Last up, Chicago Bears playing the Tennessee Titans. Chicago Bears are currently 5-3, coming off that 2-game losing skid. And the Tennessee Titans also 2-game losing skid are 5-2. Now, this game, currently, Tennessee Titans are favored to win by 6 points. The over-under is 46.5. The Chicago Bears have a good defense. We've already previewed this a couple days ago. They have a good defense when it comes down to the passing game, not so much against the run. I think that might not actually be so true, and we'll discuss it a little bit more whenever it comes out to my bold prediction. But right now, the Tennessee Titans, do they win this game? Do they not? This is what the guys and girls say. And what I say is the Tennessee Titans win this game 27-20 at home. It looks like it'll be close as it's only one score final, but the way I see this is I think the Tennessee Titans jump out early, 7-3, finish the half up 17-10, and come straight out the third quarter, putting a touchdown. The defense makes their adjustments, gives up 0 points in the third quarter. Check that. I promise you, 0 points in the third quarter. Wait to see that. And then I think in the fourth quarter, they get some garbage time points to keep this game relatively close. But I think that late touchdown turns it from 27-13 to 27-20 final. Expect that. All right, you guys. So with all the games wrapped up for week 9, the last thing the TitanUp Today show can bring to you is this week's bold prediction. That's right. Week 8 is gone. Week 9 is here. The prediction is time. But before we go to week 9, let's conclude week 8's prediction. Check it out. My bold prediction for week 8, the Tennessee Titans defense. That's right. The defense that cannot find a way to get off the field on third down gets a defensive touchdown this week against Joe Burrow's Cincinnati Bengals. I don't know how that touchdown is going to work. I don't know if it's a pick 6. I don't know if it's a sack fumble picked up. I don't know if they caught the ball and we strip it out and pick it up, or how this is going to work out. But I know that our defense steps foot in the end zone, and there's not going to be a Jadeveon Clowney whack penalty to bring back Jonathan Joseph's pick 6 like it was back in week 2 or 3 of this season. But I'm off that. This week, we will have a pick 6 or a touchdown of some sort on defense. Mark my words. Mark that down. All right, you guys, that I really don't have much to say about. We went to this game flat. We lost a game that we should have won. But reference this bold prediction for last week. Jayon Brown did have that interception late in the game that got called back, and it looked like he might have run it in for a touchdown. But again, it got called back anyway, so it don't really matter. I don't think it was really that close this past week. But the good thing about the NFL, week 8 is done. They give me another week. Week 9 is here, and I got a shot to redeem myself and get back on this winning train. I'm ready for it, and I have a great selection for this week. And the reason why I know that it's going to hit is because of this. The Bears will lose this game. Trust me on that. But the Bears, all the games that they've lost, they've actually held the running backs to really nothing. They've held them down. They've focused on the run game. They've given up a ton of yards in the pass game. My bold prediction for this week is that Ryan Tannehill gets 300+ yards through the air and 3 touchdowns on the way to victory. Expect a big game from Ryan Tannehill, and more than likely throwing the ball a ton to Jonnu Smith as he's now healthy, not on the injury report. Expect a ton from Ryan Tannehill. Week 9, Bears at Titans, injury report given to you. All the pick'ems are done for myself and the crew. I gave you a bold prediction. Nothing left now but to watch these games. I cannot wait for our kickoff along with all these other games. It should be a great day tomorrow of football. Looking forward to it. And if you like this episode or any other episode in the past from the TitanUp Today show, click the like button. Also subscribe to the channel and click that notifications bell to get notified the next time that I upload an episode. The next episode that I'll be uploading will be my post-game reaction to us beating the Chicago Bears on Sunday. Can't wait to give it to you. But until then, I have a question. Why tighten up tomorrow when you can tighten up today?